I've never walked into a struggling post-sale organization where budget wasn't in the top 2 churn reasons. And I've also never found it to be accurate. I'm Erin, and I've helped businesses scale from 0 to 25 million and 65 million to 150 in ARR. And today I'm going to show you why budget churn is rarely about budget, what it's actually masking, and how to take a harsh look at it so your entire organization has something real to improve. Now, budget churn produces no action. Think about that. CS can't fix it, product can't fix it, sales can't fix it, so it just sits there quarter after quarter. And the real reasons for losing business keep happening, completely hidden by a convenient churn reason. And budget is the churn reason that requires the least accountability and produces the least insight, which is exactly why it's always at the top of the list. No one knows what to do about it. And here's exactly how it happens on the ground. A customer gets on a call. They say, oh, we've loved working with you so-and-so, but unfortunately the budgets have been cut and there's nothing we can do, okay? The CSM says something along the lines of like, gosh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I've loved working with you too, and it's just so hard out there. Budgets are getting cut everywhere. And if they have pretty good rapport, they might even add on, are you worried about layoffs? The call ends, the churn reason gets logged, and the playbook doesn't exist. In that conversation, almost no one asks the uncomfortable but important questions like, oh gosh, did you know this might happen months ago? Were you in the room when the budget decision got made? How are you planning to hit your goals without us? Or, just curious, do you think the executives made that decision while understanding the value of what we're doing? Or maybe was there a mismatch? And because those questions aren't asked, that leaves a churn report full of budget and an organization that has quietly decided to believe it. And I call that the budget trap. Most post-sales teams I've worked with have fallen into it. And budget is almost never the whole story. It's usually a cover for one of 2 things that you can actually fix. The first is that your relationships are too low in the organization. The person who used to defend your contract or sign the budget can't do that anymore. And the decision moved up, but you never moved along with it. And the second is a little bit of a tougher reason to stomach. If your value prop is supposed to make your customer grow, as many value props are, then why would their budget shrink if they grew? Did you actually help them grow? Did you deliver what you said? And if you can't answer that cleanly, you might have to do more work on the value you deliver. Now, here's what improved for my client when we took a hard look at churn from budget. They had 40% of their churn coming from budget when I came in, and nobody had questioned it because that's just how it was for months. So I ran my little analysis. I trained the team on how to ask better questions and differentiate between real budget churn and everything else, and then spot checked the logged reasons along with managers for months afterward. Now, it's important to note that real budget churn obviously exists. It looks like a company that's in genuine financial distress, so shrinking revenue, layoffs, maybe on the verge of bankruptcy. But that turned out being only one of the 5 accounts that had been logged as churning for budget reasons. And the rest had nothing to do with budget. No clear ROI was established, unmet expectations, lack of multi-threading, or relationships just sitting too low in the org to defend the spend. And all of those problems can be solved with playbooks and strategy. So once we discovered that, leadership went from resigned to excited in one conversation because most of it was in their control the entire time, but they just didn't know it. Now, for the 1 in 5 accounts that were under distress, we had to do more analysis. We noticed that most of those were the very small clients. And after months and more analyses, there was a hard go-to-market decision to make, which was to take them out of the ICP until we could build a self-service option. And that's what ruthless objectivity looks like. It's not comfortable, but it's necessary if you want to grow at a crazy pace. So here's what separates the operators who get out of this trap from the ones who stay in it. Great operators remove the mask. They surgically separate the true drivers of churn from the stories that their teams tell themselves. They spot check those reasons. They reclassify. And they use that reclassification to align the entire go-to-market team because bad churn data doesn't just hurt CS, it impairs the entire organization. So great operators interrogate the narrative. Mediocre operators manage it. And budget churn without interrogation is a story you're telling yourself. Replacing 80% of that churn with a real playbook is how you show a board that you're running the business instead of reacting to it. So if your churn doesn't feel right, email me. I'm Erin Stavi, and I'm the founder of Lakeshore Success. I'll see you on the next one.